in the overtime there, the last sequence, you had made two saves in the last 10 seconds. Can you just talk a little bit about those two saves?
I don't know what kind of saves, like from behind the net. I just tried to be focused on the puck, and that's it. So I didn't realize Laffy that like tired, like he was, but so probably he needs to work on his stamina.
What's it been? I don't know if we spoke to you since the letter came out. What is your feeling on, just where this team is now and after the letter?
I'm focused on my game. I just play a game at a time, and that's it. So, yeah, honestly, I didn't read it later because I don't speak English.
What was your reaction to Artemi getting traded? I mean, you guys were good friends.
Yeah, he is one of the best players in the league, so of course it's pretty tough for us to lose players that caliber. I think I hope he enjoy the trade, and we wish him all the best. I think it's time for young players to develop pretty well right now.
What do you think this team wants to accomplish in the last 23 games?
Like I said, we spoke a little bit, and we just try to be focused on the game. So we don't care about we don't think about lose. So we always focus on a win, and we try our best to reach it.
Being claimed, getting here, and playing in this game today.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy 24 hours. Found out at 11 o'clock yesterday and hustled to make a 2:45 fight, packed what I could, and then got here, and it was kind of nice. Just slept, woke up, and came to play.
Where'd you sleep, in a hotel or
yeah,
just someone's house?
Just hotel.
Were you, what was kind of the emotional roller coaster of the 24 hours before, once you find out that you're on waivers? And
Yeah, it's highs and lows. Obviously, it stinks to be put on waivers, but I got claimed, and I'm really excited to be here, and I think it's a great opportunity for me.
What do you expect your role to be here?
Kind of just what I did tonight. Physical, forechecking, being in good spots, and hopefully chipping in on offense when I can.
How hard is it to just step in and play? You haven't practiced with these guys, and you don't know these guys?
Honestly, sometimes I think it's better, just having no time to think about it and just going out and playing and just having fun, I think, is almost better than overthinking it.
I know you got familiarity with Borgen. I saw you guys kind of going at it, or not at each other, but with each other and warm up and stuff. But having a guy here to welcome you, what does it say about him and your relationship?
Yeah, obviously played with him in Seattle for a while, and he's a great guy, great friend, and it's nice to have someone like that welcome you with open arms.
what kind of, I know the last 2 years ago in Seattle, you were in the lineup consistently, had a really strong bottom six role. What kind of the past few years where you've been in and out of the lineup, what have you seen as maybe things that have gone wrong?
Yeah, I think I'm at that level where I want to be in the lineup every night, and I think I'm at that level I was at a couple of years ago. So I'm just going to try and play my game, do what I can.
Kind of a good push there in the second, and I think I went in the third to get right back into the game was big for us, and nice to end it off with a win.
Did you feel the momentum shift after that?
Yeah, kind of in the second period, I feel like we started pushing the pace. The first was a little sloppy, couple penalties to start the game, and a couple goals given up. But nice to get one overturned and then find our group there early in the second.
What do you think kind of flipped the momentum a little bit in the second half?
Just getting behind them and skating. They're not playing slow, playing quick, and pushing the pace there. And just shooting the puck and getting behind them. That was our biggest thing. And when we do that, play low behind their D, we're a good team. We just got to do it more often.
And also, just what do you see from Gavrikov in that pass?
Yeah, it was a great play by him. It's not many guys can see that, and luckily beat the guy off the wall, and he found me with a pretty easy one just to tap it in. So it was a great play by him, and credit to him for that.
Do you feel anything a little different now they've had the break, 3 points in 4 games?
It's nice to help contribute as much as I can. It's got to continue to do the best to do that every night if I can, and it's a lot of fun when you're winning games and contributing. So hopefully, I can keep that going the rest of the way.
Igor back too. He makes those saves at the end of the overtime.
That's you catch yourself on the bench. I do. I'm just thinking, hopefully he's good. So no, I think it's obviously a great to have him back.
Do you feel like?
Too, sorry, you go.
No. Do you just wish you would not miss those 13 games and you might be someplace different?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I wish could have gone different, but I can't change it now, right? So I don't think it helps us or helps you to regret things or wish it was different. We have to deal with it, and that's it. That's a situation that we're in, and try to do the best out of it.
With Gabe, obviously his playmaking ability is his biggest attribute, and he had that pass to you in the second period where he kind of spun around on the boards and found you in that soft area. Are you learning the way he sees the game? Like, obviously it's something new for you as his line mate, but are you starting to understand the plays he's going to make and anticipating that?
I think it's more putting myself in a position where he can make the play. A lot of times when you're hesitant or, you've seen it throughout the year. For personally to as a team, when you're hesitant and you don't really want the puck, it's hard for the puck carrier to do something, to create something out of the blue. So the guys around, you have to get open. You have to make, put yourself in a spot. And obviously he's talented enough to make those plays, but I'm just trying to get open because I know he's looking for the plays. So I think that's how I can help him as a lineman, and how Millsy does it too. So we're just trying to be available for each other and try to be close and, again, help each other out.
There's been a lot of pressure on you, obviously, throughout your career about being the play driver, but do you feel like Gabe can offer that as well, as being someone who can drive the play and find you in those spots?
Yeah, in different areas, I guess. I think as a centerman that you're trying to, I guess, drive the play through the neutral zone and to try to get it to, at least for me and how I play, just to get the puck into those zone and then go from there. And obviously, again, like I'm playing with two guys, I can hold on to pucks and make plays. So I have 5 shots in the slot and 5-on-5. So I feel like that's, I'm just gonna get open.
How do you feel your goal changed the game?
It's obviously nice to get a goal. I guess it gets the building buzzing a little bit, and nice to get one on the power play, especially the way the first one looked. So goals always change games.
What did you like about the response?
I just loved our competitive spirit. I thought Pittsburgh was a better team in the first period, and I thought we were the better team in the second and third. I thought, and it started with our compete level. So I give the guys a lot of credit. They responded well, and I'm happy for them that, we're able to get a win at home and, give these guys something to feel good about, and it'll give us something to build on. But I thought the response was great, and the biggest thing I liked about it was just our competitive fire.
It was your first look at Kartye. What did you think he brought?
He brought, he came as advertised. Drew talked to me about his motor and, his ability to help us in the puck pursuit game, getting in on the forecheck, disrupting plays, making it hard on defensemen's, opponents' breakout options, things of that nature. He has some physicality to his game. We didn't use him on a penalty kill tonight, but I would anticipate getting him involved with that moving forward. It's just hard. We haven't had a chance to really work with him yet with that, so I didn't want to put him in a tough spot. But moving forward, I would anticipate him being involved in the penalty kill also. But I thought he had a good game for us, for a guy that, gets the news yesterday, travels all the way across the country, and then has to lace him up on a 12:30 game. That's not an easy thing to do, but I thought he played really well.
I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of what Mika said about the 2-on-1 with Gabe in the third period. Mika said he encourages Gabe to make that play if he thinks it's the right play, and obviously in a critical part of the game, most people would want Gabe to shoot that, but I think, or not what I think, what Mika said, just knowing Gabe, his instincts are usually in the right spot, and next time that connects. What are you telling Gabe on the bench when he comes back with that play? Is it encouragement or?
Yeah, I think sometimes as coaches, this is just my own experience, when you're coaching the offensive side of the puck, if you're not careful, you can get in the way of instincts. And so, with players like Gabe and players that are offensively gifted, we try to stay out of the way a little bit there. We tread softly because we don't want to get in the way of their instincts. Gabe obviously saw something that he chose to make that play. We're encouraging him to trust his instincts. It's easy for us to sit here and say, hey, you should have shot it, but if that pass goes through the skates and Mika has a tap in on the backside, we're all celebrating what an unbelievable play he made, right? We have the luxury of that. He doesn't. So, you know, for me, the biggest thing is he needs to trust his instincts because he sees it really well. And that's one of the strengths of his game, and we certainly don't want to get in the way of that.
Did you find that his game today was a little bit louder than previous games maybe?
I thought in the second, third period he responded really well. I thought he was in the puck battles. You know, for an undersized guy, he wins pucks. He has a good stick. He uses his brain and his stick skills, his quickness to win puck battles. And he plays the game with courage. He'll go to the blue paint. He's engaged in the battle areas down low in the corners, and I thought he won pucks. And his playmaking ability, I think, is his greatest attribute. And he made a handful of them in the second and third period for sure. We utilized them in the overtime. Makes a great defensive play on Malkin, who's not a small guy. And so. We really think his game is coming. We're trying to help him grow his game in different aspects. But as I said, the biggest thing for me that we were pleased about was just how he responded in the second and the third. It's not easy as a young player, to play with the types of players that he's playing with, JT and Mika. There's an expectation there when you play with players like that. And what I'll tell you is Mika and JT both. They really like Gabe and his game. They like playing with him because they see what we see. They see his offensive instincts, his ability to make plays. And, he's still learning on the job, so to speak. So some of his skill set is still really raw, but everybody can see what he's capable of. And those guys, I think Mika and JT have done a great job just mentoring him. And when they come back to the bench, those guys, they've taken them under their wing, so to speak, and which I think is great for Gabe.
I don't know the right word, whether it's relief or comfort, but how, I guess, nice is it knowing that you have Igor back there when you get into a shootout situation?
Yeah, it's comforting. I'm not going to lie. He's I think he's the best goalie in the game. He just his compete level. He's an elite player, and so it's comforting to have him between the pipes, whether it be in the shootout or any time for that matter. He has the ability to change the outcome of a game single-handedly.
Will you play him as normal the rest of the season as you would over the course of the season, or because there's 23 games left, then he's coming off an injury, might you kind of watch his ice time a little bit?
Well, we'll talk to Shesty and we'll manage it together. But obviously he feels really good right now. He feels strong. He worked hard to, in the return to play process that he went through. And so, but as far as what his workload looks like moving forward, I don't know that I can give you. I don't think I can give you a definitive answer there. He's going to play. I'll tell you that.
The third line gave you a big depth goal, and it seemed like really good puck movement. Just what did you see out of that group on that play?
Well, it was a great play. It starts with a puck battle in the corner. It's a stalled puck. There was what I liked was just a collective effort. We talk about having three close, making sure we don't get outnumbered in those situations. So those guys work together to win that puck. They beat people off the walls going to the back post. It's a really heads-up play. I think it was Foxy, wasn't it? That it might have been Vladdy. I can't remember where. It was a lefty.
Yeah.
Was it Vladdy? Yeah. So he finds the backside stick coming off. If you can beat people out of the corner like that, there's opportunities on that backside when you get into those circumstances. And I thought it was a really heads-up play by Vladdy. And a great play by those three guys down low. And it starts with just winning puck battles. So when I talk about competitive spirit, that's what we're talking about.
I'm assuming your focus is elsewhere when this happened, but after Vinny scored in the shootout, the whole building was chanting USA. I'm not sure if you even kind of took that in.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out, an order of.
Who's going next?
Yeah, but we have a list of where we're at. But we've got a lot of new players here that and so we were kind of talking about the,
It was before JT even went out. It was
Yeah.
after Vinny scored.
Yeah, no, I know, but trust me, those conversations start early. So.
I guess will you go back and try to hear it now? Or just the effect of, again, we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just think it's, those types of reactions, I think, is an indication of the impact that Olympic team had in winning the gold medal on the United States. And so, I think I said that to those guys when we were over there. I said, I don't think you realize, the impact that you're having, on the country, in so many different ways. I'm certain they will inspire the next generation of young players in the United States because of what they were able to accomplish over there. But they inspired the nation in so many different ways. Sports has a unique ability to unite people around a cause like that. And so I think an experience like that, when you're able to win the gold medal, especially in the manner in which we did it, I think it has an incredible ability to unite the nation. And so when you hear chants like that and things of that nature, I think those are all just indications of it. For me, it's just affirmation that team and those players had a remarkable impact on the country.